friends, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to do a drawing tutorial, but I didn't want to log into my game just to actually record an intro, especially because I don't actually have my system hooked up or anything. But I am going to be showing you screen recordings from the actual drawing all the way until the very end. And I'll go ahead and I'll talk you through that. My name's Honey, as always. All of my socials are linked back down below. If you've been here before, I would really appreciate you subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the video. So today we are going to be making a flag for our Daisy Island that we have for cataloging. We decided that Gonzo, our resident cranky, was going to be our island mascot, and he should be on the flag. So that is what I'm doing today. I am making a picture of Gonzo to use to make a pattern for the flag. I did say that I would show you guys my whole process, like all the way through, when I decide to make these custom designs. And this is literally how I do it. I will go on Procreate and I will take a reference picture of whatever I'm drawing, and then I will make a very simplified version of that thing that I'm trying to draw. And then I'll go up to the canvas and I'll resize the canvas or resample the canvas to 32 bits. And then I will put one dot per like pixel, one dot per pixel. And it will make a perfect grid of 32 by 32. It's not perfect, but it is close enough that I'm not completely winging it while I'm making a pattern. I am totally okay with playing with the pixel editor in Animal Crossing when it comes to paths and brick things and things that are kind of symmetrical, like or naturey, like the floor. I'm not really gonna be able to draw the ground or anything like that, and it's fine for me to draw those in the app. But when it comes to pictures like this, or like my flag for Amethyst that was like a wolf, the amethyst, like it was the Rivia mascot, like it just works a little bit better for me to go ahead and do them on a drawing app first, and then turning it into pixel art on the drawing app in order to use that as a guide. It's not perfect by any means. I have to do some tweaking and some fine tuning in order to make it work or look nicer, but I find it to be a lot faster than experimenting straight in the app. As always, you do what is going to work for you and what's going to work best for you. You could quite honestly take a picture of Gonzo from the internet and put him in a Procreate drawing app, and you could reduce that to 32 by 32 and do the same thing. The only reason I don't do that is because I find that the color palette is too hard to gauge that way. It goes ahead and it pulls like 30 colors, and our palette here only has 15 options, 15 slots. So I don't want to have to translate 30 colors into 15. So I prefer to just draw it myself. Also, for me, because I do like to draw, it is extra drawing practice for me. I'm not all that great of a digital artist. I just started a couple months ago. So it is a good chance for me to practice. So here I'm taking my pattern and I am starting to draw Gonzo in the app. I don't know why I suddenly lost touch with the English language. But yes, because it was already drawn in advance, it makes it a lot easier for me to just kind of go line by line and count squares and use the symmetry tool. Because I mean, it's a face. I want it to be symmetrical. Symmetrical faces are actually proven to be the most visually appealing Like, that's science, actually, that proved that. So I am making slight adjustments as I go along, but I make the bulk of the adjustments at the end. So what it is I use the graph that I made basically, and then I use it with the understanding that there are things that are going to be tweaked and changed because in this app, things don't necessarily look the same way they do in normal computer graphics. I don't know why, but the science behind it just doesn't line up. So I find myself changing things here and there in order to make it look um, the same pretty much. In order to make it look the same way I drew it, I do have to make a few minor adjustments. But I still feel like making a pattern is worth it because it's a starting point. Whereas instead of I'm not going in there all at once and just kind of winging it from the beginning because that can just get a little bit stressful, and I can see how people would just not want to make designs if they're frustrated. So, yeah, to avoid the frustration, I would rather make a pattern in advance and go with it. And then, like every pattern you use, like even with sewing and crocheting, like I crocheted a lot, and any art or craft, you know that a pattern is just an outline and every style is different and every tool you use is different, and it's gonna it's gonna vary a little bit. You're gonna have that little bit of variation, um, and it's fine. And sometimes the result will look exactly the same as somebody else's, and you'll get they're like entirely different ways. So it is totally okay. Just trust the process. It is a process. And that is one big thing they say in art class, just trust the process. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. Just trust the process. It'll all work out. You see, I'm here just playing with these little things around his face, trying to make it look good on the canvas and trying to get it all lined up nicely. I do make more changes when get to Isabel. I looked at it again and I was like, I don't know. So I did make a couple of more minor adjustments, but they were more on the shape of his lower face. I think I felt like it was just a little too square. I wanted a little more roundness in it, like curvature, but it's not really a big deal. It was just a basically preference. So I am not one to do fonts. Like I don't do writing very well. My hands are funny and I don't write very well like in real life. I'm not It's always this misconception that people who draw can like write. I can't write. Like I can't print, I should say. I don't know why. Something about the way you hold a pencil to write versus the way you hold a pencil to draw just works a little bit differently for me. So I am not the best at fonts or printing. So I just kind of did the best I could here and wrote the name of the island. Because the koala heads are kind of funny and we don't have a rectangular canvas, like we just have this square. So I didn't want to put them in the middle and find ways to fill in the top and the bottom. I thought it would be good to just have the island name there instead, which I see a lot and it works well. Even on Lalahan, Hayes Crossing actually taught me this because she did a volcano for my flag on Lalahan, and she went ahead and did the volcano over the name of the island, and it looked really cool. So I thought I would kind of do the same thing here and put the picture of our lovely Gonzo above the island name. Thank you for that, Hayes. So we're gonna just change this to Daisy flag because we all know how creative I am with custom design names by now, especially if you've ever downloaded one of my designs and it was called Dirt Path. I'm sorry. That literally is how I think at the time. I don't know why. I do write, but for some reason when it comes to cute kitschy like names, I just don't like something about my brain wiring just does not connect it well, and it's kind of funny. So yeah, here I am just making those little final adjustments right before I sit down with Isabel. I want Gonzo to look as good as possible on our flag. If he asks me to leave, I'm going to be so upset. And here we go. I hope everybody liked it. I hope you all have a very beautiful day or night. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.